You recently booked your first major network booking for a TV series. So congrats. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a bit about how this came to be.
When I started with Career Activate, I was really ready to find an agent where I can up level, and through taking the agent course and then joining Career Activate, when I started in February of that year, in May and June, I had found my agent. He knew exactly where I was. He just wanted to champion me. He knew what I had to give. And he also clearly had the patience to go kind of the distance with me until something hit. Hundreds of submissions he submitted me for. And then I had a good number of auditions over the last year, almost 2 years,
Hmm.
with no bookings.
Hmm.
And then I booked this particular show, and not really sure what the role is yet, whether it's a co-star, guest star, recurring.
Yeah.
There's possibility there. But unfortunately, with the strike, the show went into hiatus in May.
I know you're in year three now with Career Activate. So your first year coming in, was that your goal was to get an agent who really understood you? And
That's what drew me to Jonah, to the course. I had
okay.
been getting her newsletters for 3 years,
Yeah.
maybe, but I didn't have a clue of what she offered, and the community that she built, and the coaching and the mentoring that she's created for actors. So that was a big goal, and also to start my manager search, or at
Okay.
least uh, understand whether I needed a manager, and when I was ready for one, that I had my target list ready and well researched. So that was a big thing.
Yeah. I mean, and it kind of sounds like you almost achieved that pretty quickly in your first year. So what made you decide to do like year two and year three now?
I felt that first year brought me to a level of, yeah, I got this. At least I know how to communicate. I know how to write a great email. All of those things were taught so well through Jonah, the courses, and well, the community as well, but the coaching.
Yeah. What specifically with the coaching helped you with that?
Well, I had Eric as a
Hmm.
coach, and Eric just has a mind, just this really surgical brain on how to do things and what's worked for him. I was able to have a year of that sort of wonderful, detailed coaching on how to do things, making really deliberate choices.
Mm.
The next year, my goal shifted to the fear I had with networking,
Mm.
the fear to reach out to contacts that are in my world, but I would be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna I can't ask them for anything." Or, how do you approach them? It's that awkward line of how do you talk about your work? The awkwardness is there as far as, I need something from you. You could change my world in a phone
Yeah.
call or whatever. But I just wanted to get past the idea that there was anybody that I just couldn't walk up to with a handshake and say hello and talk and feel comfortable to talk about me and my work.
Yeah, that's
you know.
powerful. Yeah. And so, I mean, it sounds like you were basically building off of a first step of networking, which is, reach out, email, and then the second year, actually doing the thing and getting more and more comfortable with the networking side. And now in year three, how are we doing in year three?
Yeah, year three really focused on particular goals,
Hmm.
as well as continuing with breaking through that fear wall. To add to the story of the booking, I just had the chance to be with Dances with Films for 11 days. And it was one of the best festivals I've ever attended. I've been to a number of festivals since November. I've had these short films coming out. I was able to get to Slam Dance, Beverly Hills Film Festival, a lot of the local festivals with about 4 films. That's been kind of a fun ride. You meet the same people, from one festival to another. But with Dances, the opening party was in the Roosevelt ballrooms. Everybody was kind of closed off, talking. So I was like, okay, I walked all the way across the ballroom and thought, oh, okay, I'll swing around and walk back. But I saw this group at the side. They looked a bit not intimidating, but they didn't look like they were part of the festival. They looked important,
Mm.
and they were all talking. This is a film festival.
Yeah.
There's an incredible level of generosity, where you can literally just shake, Tom Hanks's hand and talk about your work. Everybody's championing everybody, at the festivals. I walked right up to them, put my hand out and said, do you have a film here? And the one guy, he just started chatting really comfortably, really nice. Then he said, "Oh, have you met my friend here?" I shake his hand. We start talking. "Hey, you have a film?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And I said, "Well, what work do you do?" He said, "I'm a showrunner." And I said, "Oh," I said, "What shows?" And he named the show that I got booked on.
That's amazing.
Is that crazy?
Were you like, "Hey, I'll see you on the show?"
There was this really great conversation going, just two filmmakers or people in the industry. He was so generous. He said, "Yeah," he goes, "It went on hiatus." He says, "Don't worry, it'll be back and you'll be on." I mean, I don't know what kind of power he had to do to say that,
Oh, showrunner, he's got power.
but yeah. And then we talked even more about his work, a little bit more about my work and goals and where I'm at. And he said, "Make sure that you submit for everything my name is on, whether anything comes of it or not." He did give me the confidence that the show will be back and I'll be on.
Yeah.
So that was like, wow, and I almost did not go up to them to,
But you did it because 3
yeah,
years of working on this and
yes,
you're doing with coach, and then you
yeah,
had, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go
yeah,
shake their hand."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
it was pretty great. And the icing on that cake, or the strawberries on the icing on that cake, were I finished talking with them and he pointed to a friend of his and said, "Oh, you have to meet her, big TV director friend of the group." We did our meetings and then they were heading out. I just turned around and there were open arms with a big hug from April Yanko from Career Activate, who
Yeah.
was there with her film, and Rory and Allison were there. And so I literally turned around and walked into a hug from Career Activate, from my peers in Career Activate, of which we then hung out for the next 11 days.
Yeah.
And Rory referred me for a Sundance collaboration scene to work with him, which we're filming next weekend. So, I mean, it all, there's an engine that starts going,
Mm,
and it's a wonderful thing if it's your love and your passion, and then things start connecting and I don't know, it just
yeah.
starts.
It's such a great example of you put in the work, working with your coach. Here it is coming to fruition, like all the good things that you're just kind of like learned. And then
Yeah.
you also have the network that you built at Career Activate there to support and to start building again. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome, Matthew. What a crazy, awesome story. I love that. And I mean, I can't wait to see what else I mean, it seems like you're constantly filming these days.
this year's been a lot of festivals from last year's work.
Yeah.
I did a lot of short films last year and a feature. It's been almost a nonstop thing. It's just really amazing to meet all of these filmmakers and work with the film schools and what I feel are the best filmmakers from those film schools. And I'm still actively friends and in touch with hundreds of them. I'm going to a film festival this weekend with some of my favorite student filmmakers who have graduated, started their own production company. And I've done about maybe 10 films with the group of
Yeah.
them. It's a wonderful thing to do at my age, to be able to come into it. I don't know, just find it really fresh and alive for, something that I can actually love doing the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that is absolutely amazing. If you were talking to an actor right now who is struggling in their career, what is like one single piece of advice that you would give them?
Try to get in front of the best.
Mm,
Try to learn from the best, find teachers that are masters, and then make sure those masters are with you throughout in some way. I find Jonah to be a master.
yep.
The coaches in the program that I've talked to and worked with are masters as well. They're people that have your best interest at heart, 100%. They're in it to help, and they also see where you're going. They see that you need to get from point A to point Q or whatever, but they can help guide along the way.
That's amazing. Makes me feel good. And I can't wait to see what else you end up doing, Matthew. Before we head out, do you have an Instagram handle you want to share for everyone to follow you and see all your amazing things? Yeah.
Yeah, it's at Matthew Rhodes with 3 underscores. Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Yay. Thank you, Matthew. You're amazing.
Thank you, Samantha. I've really enjoyed being here with you, and
Yeah.
thanks for having me.
My pleasure.